Yeah, yeah. This is Ron. I just got in. It's late. It's nearly quarter to 11 in the evening on the 6th, and I just got in from the ER, and I went to my oncologist today and for hydration, and they plugged me in to my port. I then, I finished hydration. I went to the ER to see if we can address some of these issues. And of course, the doctor in the ER seemed to think that I was wasting his time. And he looked at me and said, "And where's the emergency?" I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "This doesn't seem like an emergency." I said, "To me, it's an emergency." I said, "I'm going to pass out every time I bend over." That's something you'd be concerned about. If I go to tie my shoes, I'm going to pass out. I can lose my hearing, my eyesight, everything. My face is swollen, my neck is swollen, everything's swollen. Well, we'll have to get a CAT scan. We'll have to do the whole rigmarole. You're gonna, what you're gonna have to go through. A seasoned veteran. I said, well, I'm already plugged in for you. I'm ready to go. You start pulling blood out of me, you just do what you got to do. So they stuffed sticks up my nose to check me for COVID. I'm clean. They checked me for the flu. I'm clean. They checked me for strep throat. I'm clean. My blood work looks good. I'm a little anemic, but only problem is the sugar might be a little high. 107, not very high. So, what is it? Well, the CAT scan revealed it. The tumor's grown so large that it's shoving against my heart, and it's preventing the return flow blood to the venous cava, and so it's a backflow. I guess it's a backup. So I'm backed up like a big old toilet head. So I'm backed up, and the ER doctor's only suggestion is to put your feet up on the table, to put your shoes on, so you're not leaning over. Oh, great. Now what about all the rest of the stuff? I said, I know, I'm trying not to. And so everything was printed out and all that for me. And of course, my oncologist will get the information, and he loves that stuff. And he'll probably recommend emergency surgery because we've got to get that blood flowing again because it's not flowing. That's why I feel like I'm being choked to death, and that's why my heart rate is shooting through the roof because it's beating harder, but the blood is just building, 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 and it's only trickling, 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 trickling. So part of it is relaxation. It's what I've been trying to tell Jeff for several days now, for a week, that I gotta stop doing things, and I have, but it doesn't mean those things have to be stopped doing. He's got to do them. The house still hasn't been vacuumed. I think so. Nope, still haven't been vacuumed. The grass is that thick in my room. Can't be vacuumed. It's too strenuous. Just die right there. Have a vacuum attached to me in the afterlife. So I'm losing my voice tonight. Sound like a smoker, right? Yeah. Well, I just was smoking some. Just was getting a little buzz, but I did good all day for coughing. I really did. And I took a nap for 3 hours while I was getting hydrated with a liter of normal saline, normalcy, as promised by Gabriel. And then the ER started me on saline, so I did 2 liters of saline. So I feel a little bit more plump, but it also means it's a little bit more thick. So it's choking me again, choking, choking. So it's still considered critical because, well, if I do anything strenuous, my heart rate goes up and I could blow it somewhere, wherever things got loose. Oh, it hurts so bad. It does. This is the flow up. So it's flowing up, then around, and then, ugh, it's terrible. I don't know. There must be a flow chart for this. I should check it out. But I thought I'd let you know that's what's wrong with me. So I have all weekend to just lay in bed. And I've been laying in bed for far too long already. That's why I lost my garden. That's why all the flowers are dead. And the trees got scorched really bad. Um, I was watching a fellow subscriber that showing her yard, and she had the most beautiful Russian olives, and I had a most beautiful Russian olive in front of my house, but now it's half dead because of this year not being able to get out there and water properly. So thank God my Zelkova did well, hung in there because he's been here since day one I started as a little twig. So I'm hoping he's anchored under the house enough that he can find a pipe and break it and drink all he wants or something, in the future. So, anyways, yeah. So that's why my eyes are swollen. Yeah, that's why my face is swollen. They all think I look good, Hey, you look good. It's like, oh, thanks. What's your emergency? It don't matter what the emergency is. It has to do with your perception. If you perceive an emergency, it's okay. Go to the ER. These silly doctors think you're taking up their time. No, he did valuable service. He should feel proud about himself. I'm sure Dr. Gomez is going to call him personally and thank him. Because that's how Dr. Gomez is, I can tell. He's the kind of guy that does follow-ups and thanks the departments that help him along to get through um, with his patients. And I'm just so thankful it's all connected. I really am. Otherwise, it'd be a runaround Sue. I don't know how other people in other communities do that, where your PCP and your oncologist and your hospital are all separate and no one knows what anybody else is doing because the computer's not talking. Now, mine's all just one hospital, thankfully. And while I was in the ER, the the that oh, oh, my brain is not working. The end of life care people called, and so I had a nice long chat with her, and then of course the doctor came in. I had to interrupt, and I told her I'd call her back, but she said yes, I can skip hospice if I'm eligible for the drug. They give me the drug, they prescribe it. It can sit on the counter until I'm ready for it. But this is the kind of condition where I think that death is gonna be an unexpected, sudden. I did something like bend over. Yeah, there goes the train again. Yeah, I'm gonna bend over and die, get my bonus. But I think it is appropriate, just like the cat cutting off the previous video, um, that these days should be cut short. How appropriate. And not only that, but the upcoming uh, supernova, or I guess it's a mini nova, that's supposed to appear in the sky on the 28th September. And that's supposed to be Jacob's star, which indicates the return of the Son of Man. And, he said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." And he did. So that's where I'll be. I have to get behind him. So if the Lord rises up, I get to rise up too, right behind him. Sure, because that's where I will be, following him, wherever he shall go. And however it works out. You know. So I'm comforted in that. I'd like to see the election go through. I don't know, just just because I believe they're crooked bastards and they'll do anything to steal the election as they did last time. Russian collusion, that sort of thing, they'll be blaming everybody. And it is interesting that the father of that shooter in Georgia, the 14-year-old that shot two teachers and two children, two other 14-year-olds, that the father is going to be prosecuted. Yes, he should be responsible, just like Biden should be responsible for his little Hunter. I mean, you named him Hunter, and he has a little gun problem, and he has a little drug problem, he has a little sexual problem, and it's in the White House. Well, then we have to blame the father, the parents. We should throw the parents in jail to rectify this problem. You know. Yeah. So, anyways, today's the 6th. One of my oncology nurses, her birthday was yesterday, so I got to do a numerology reading, and she really loved it. Yeah, she really loved it. Couldn't believe how young she is. So today's the 6th, and that that 9 with the 8, which creates the 8. The 8 is upon the power to control your emotions, was upon the man, and it was today. Yeah, I controlled my emotions well. I spoke clearly. I articulated what my thoughts were to that doctor, even though he was adamant that I was wasting his time. There's this healthy person sitting here in front of him, and he doesn't grasp the reality of it, not the way I do. I'm not just talking about. He said, "What's your pain level?" I'm not in pain. This is not pain. This is pressure. I said, and he didn't understand. And but now he does. Yeah, he probably feels better. He probably feels a little bad in a way. But the nurses were all impressed to be able to have the port already set up for them. And of course, they all talk that lie stuff. Oh, well, we're not supposed to touch the port. Now, it doesn't belong to anyone but the patient. Patient gives you permission to access the port. You can access the port. I said, I already know that if I ever come in here and I'm not accessed, I will be contacting the OR to come and send someone right away to plug me in before you ever think of sticking a needle in me ever again. Yeah, until it's gone. And once it's gone, then I have to know whether it'll be the needle again. I think you're only supposed to have a port for about a year. And besides those who are given a port, that's your prognosis right there. Once you're given a port, you might as well just give yourself a year or less, because that's your time frame. And the oncologist doesn't want to mention, he doesn't want to say the words, he doesn't want to give the time frame. But I have a nice little printed out form for him to fill out and to be witnessed for permission to kill myself. Yeah, to legally kill myself rather than go through the whole ordeal. Because what I found out was my friend Natalie, the reason why how she was able to get euthanized was they performed what's called palliative, um, oh God, sedation. Palliative sedation, that's what it's called. And that's where they sedate you and you're unconscious. And then they cut off all food and water. That's it. All medicines, all food and water and medicines, they just keep you sedated. Well, it's the sedation of the medicine, but yeah, and they just keep you sedated and they'll just hold the sedation until you give up. So you die. And so I assumed that Natalie was already in the throes and we were given 3 hour notice to say goodbye. But with me, it's no, it's legal. And I do have concern because even the oncologist girls, the nurses staff, I was asking them about it. They go, no, not in New Mexico. And I go, see, now that has to change. You people are not being informed. And this patient has the right to be informed. And you're saying that it's not legal in New Mexico, and yet it is. And thankfully, that lady called me back and confirmed that, yes, I can skip, I can bow out of hospice. It's usually recommended, but I told her I don't want that. I don't. No, they'll take me to the limit and they'll play on it, other people's emotions, and then they'll do the palliative um, sedation, and I don't want that. Now, as far as wanting to live, I'm not ready to die tomorrow. I don't want to die tomorrow or next week for that matter. I'd like to get on my feet so I can get caught up, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. So, uh, yeah, if there's surgery, then I'll probably consider it. Sure, get the pressure off of the heart. It can't be good for any reason. Don't bite. No biting. They went in the closet, their play closet. Because I had the Mylar in there for the grow room, and they just love ripping it and tearing it, and they think Mylar is the funnest thing to play with. It's like, okay, and I haven't hung up shirts yet. Did some laundry today. Yeah, I did a lot today for being an invalid. So I definitely have to somehow get a hold of a lazy boy sofa, or I'm sorry, yeah, a lazy boy chair, you know, so I can recline. And the pressure occurs even in this seated position. So he says, don't lean forward, but the pressure, I can still feel the pressure right here. Just unbelievable pressure. It just isn't going to let the blood flow through because of the tumor pushing against the heart, which is acting like the pancreas, which is also causing the pressure in the shoulders. So it's all related. It is like a pancreas, but instead of going up, it's going sideways. Yeah, wouldn't you know it? And anything that's pressuring the heart is, yeah, that's very serious. So I guess cardiac specialist probably have to be called in. I don't know. For little old me, what ridiculousness, huh? They'll say, well, there goes the Tin Man. If he only had a heart. So the heart is the sixth as the man, as it is expansion, as it is fertility, as it moves outward. It's growth, but it moves outwardly, not upwardly. And so, but six represents the man. And with that eight on the six, we get a 14, which is a five. So today was with a hand. Yeah, there's a hand today. And yeah, give myself a hand by going into the ER and not being afraid of some doctor that thinks I'm taking his time, taking up his time. Some crazy person driving down the road. You probably can't hear the noises that I hear, but it's like a racetrack around here sometimes. Is there enough dry food out there? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm recording a video. All right. And then I'll probably be going to bed. I'm ready. So now, see, if I contacted hospice, they would be the ones that actively would get me a hospital bed or all the things that I need. But they'd be in my house, they'd be in my life. And I just don't trust these people. I don't trust anybody. Well, I do trust people, but I don't trust them to not catch anything. Yeah, with the cats and all the things that are going on now. I think I could take care of myself with a good caregiver provider awareness and prevent some mishaps. I haven't been on the roof this year at all, not once. I'm usually the person that does the air conditioner, but it broke down the other day, so I had to move this air conditioner out there to the living room to keep the house cool until Jeff got home. Oops, spilled my little drug. Yeah, so the number five, freedom. It can represent death, but it's freedom, breaking the rules. So maybe that's what I did today. broke the doctor's rules. His rules is if you ain't bleeding or crying, then you ain't dying, and then you're wasting his time. You should just go to your regular doctor. But you know, the regular doctor would just send me right over to the hospital. So y'all work together as a team. You get paid for your hourly wage or whatever salary that you're getting, no matter what. And there's lots of babies being carried in. I noticed that. There were a lot of babies. And they even asked me to put on a mask, and I said, no, I can't breathe. Then what happened? Yeah, but we don't want you to catch anything. I said, you don't want those babies catching anything. But rest assured, my white blood count is very high. Now, if I do have a virus, we do need to know. So get me out of the waiting room. But thankfully, I don't have West Nile. I don't have Joe Biden disease. I don't have Bill Gates disease, Fauci disease. I don't have any of that. No. And that's good. No strep throat, even though it's so sore. Yeah, it's really bad. So I'll probably talk to you soon. Take care. And please, if you can, just kind of, I don't know how to get my videos out there. I tried using the hashtags and searching for my videos by hashtag, and it doesn't work. I'm so shadow banned by YouTube. It's pathetic. It is. It's really pathetic. Even if you put in Green Sage, the channels should come up that are Green Sage. And they do, but not mine. I guess because I don't get enough views, but I don't know. They don't have very many videos on those other ones, so you would think that my quantity allows for at least a larger amount of views structure to get me out there, but it's not happening. Not happening at all. And obviously, the Christian fellowships out there aren't listening to the living word. They don't realize that the big bird in the sky is ready to come down. And, well, they're not ready for it. It'll be the rapture, from the raptors, but they're not prepared. And they want to give up their bodies because they deny the flesh, and yet God would cut these days short, if but to save the flesh of the elect. And so that's important. That's very, very important. The flesh is an important thing. So, yeah, okay. That's all I got to say. Have a good night. And tomorrow's number 6 day, of course. And that should be about the heart. Yeah, okay. Well, given the fact that we're trying to control our emotions, so it'll be a heartfelt thing. Something heartfelt. Got to control our emotions. All month. Yeah, okay. Take care.